Hello there, beautiful people. I am going to look into a topic I find interesting. I want to look into whether the UK will fall into civil unrest. Now, I mean, there are lots of people who believe that it's already there, that there's no turning point. That's exactly the direction we're heading in. Many reasons for that. Government's lost credibility, two-tier policing system, civilizational collapse, cost of living crisis going up. Are we a failed state now? Our health services in crisis. So let's see if there'll be civil unrest in the UK. I'm going to ask the question first. I've got a couple of follow-up questions I want to look at. So let's ask: is the United Kingdom heading for civil unrest? I'll try and make the questions as quick as possible. Again, there are no facts here. It's just intuitive reading. It's for entertainment purposes only. Let's have a look and see. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm so new, I always forget to say it. So let's see. Is the UK heading for civil unrest? Whoa. The Queen of Swords popped out the pack. Truth and integrity. So what I've said is a major possibility. She doesn't take any prisoners. She says it as it is. She doesn't care if it hurts your feelings. She really doesn't give monkeys about hurting feelings. And she's a yes. So yeah, let's see where she comes up in the reading if she pops back in. But she's a pretty strong yes to come out, to pop out the pack. So, oh my goodness. Another soft yes, but this is an emotional unrest. This card popped out as well. So this is, people feeling not heard. People's emotions are, just getting the better of them. So that could happen too. Right, so let's see. Finally get the cards to pay attention here. Is the UK heading for civil unrest? Be interesting to see if those two cards pop back up. Right, let's see. I'm just going to split the deck and we'll see what the cards come up with. So the first card is the Two of Pentacles. So 50-50, we're definitely sitting in that position. The next card is the Queen of Wands. I do apologize, someone tried to phone me again. The next card is the Emperor in the background. In the middle is the Five of Cups. The outcome is the Knight of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. So that is interesting. We got the yes already with the Queen of Swords who flew out the pack, and the soft yes with the Page of Cups that flew out the pack. Now, with the cards that are lying on the table here, everybody is in that position at the moment where everybody's juggling too many things, and they're going to drop the ball at some point. People are literally trying to juggle things just to keep going. That people are going inwards and trusting their own intuition, and potentially people's spirituality is going to overflow, and they're going to try and find peace within themselves. This could be people going, more people going to churches, more people going to whatever religion they support, and more people finding comfort with others around them in a sort of belief system. There could also be more, spiritual, happenings happening, more Reiki sharing, more people gathering together to just lean on each other. So there could be a lot more of that. Now, in the past, you've got the Emperor. So this is someone who's in control of the situation, but that was in the past. In the past, things would very much people trying to control the situation and not let things break out. The Five of Cups in the middle is showing that everybody is emotionally exhausted. They're cup half empty. No one's can see the half full cups or anything like that. Everybody is, and I don't blame them. There's a lot of things going on that would make people, be emotionally drained. Certainly, people trying to keep the heating or eating, people trying to figure out where they can fill up their car, where they can go on holiday. There are so many things that are happening at the moment that, where people would have had an escape, they may not be able to do that. The Knight of Cups coming up as the outcome of this this is your wishful thinker, your dreamer, your soft and gentle. He's not a warrior knight. He's not someone who's flying in there making decisions hastily. He's a gentle. So there's a lot of emotion going on here. The advice is with the king and the sword, the page of swords, is to watch out for gossip and innuendo. Don't get distracted too much by social media, by politicians, by people who bullshit, by this is the liar card, the bullshit card, the people not speaking the truth card. Keep your stuff close. Make sure you have everything you need to kind of ride this out. So it's saying, like, get your ducks in a row, whatever you can. I know that it's difficult out there at the moment, so this is saying, like, make sure that you've got yourself sorted and looked after. So there's no outright yes that we're heading for civil unrest. That's a relief, on top of everything else. I wonder if someone will come in and flip the narrative on that and give us some hope. The reason I'm asking these kind of questions is to see if they play into why we could be heading for that. Our terrorist level went up, and we're higher up than we used to be following this Golders Green attack that happened. There are now warnings for people traveling to the UK to be careful of coming here. I believe there's some on the American website and things like that where, like, watch out when you travel to the UK, which that popped out the pack. Hadn't asked a question yet, but that's a fiery yes. So the terrorist levels being raised, I want to know if that's going to affect our economy more and potentially jeopardize hospitality in the UK, because, if there's a rise on our terrorists, the possibility of a terrorist attack is being raised. I wonder if that will put people off traveling here. I am sorry, my brain's not working perfectly well today, and I keep stumbling over my words. So let's look and see. Oh, too many cards. Too many cards fell out the pack. But there is a yes and a sneaky strategy, but then those also fell out. So I'm going to put them all back and reshuffle and just ask if this raise in possibility of terrorist attack in the UK going up, this level has been, I think, raised to level 2. I should look it up, really, shouldn't I? Will this affect our hospitality industry? Will this stop people traveling to the UK? Holiday makers, people who spend money in the UK. Will this stop people traveling to the UK? Okay, let's have a look. First card, Knight of Swords. That is your fighting knight. This is your slow and steady knight. King of Swords, which is truth and integrity. So it will have an effect. You've got your page, your gossip and innuendo card in the middle there. You've got the 2. That's the traveler card. You're thinking about traveling, wishes coming true, and divine timing. So how I'm looking at this is it will have an impact, but take it down. So it won't be this huge impact on people traveling. I believe if people have got travel plans, they're going to stick to them if their planes take off, that is. So we've got this knight in shining armor coming running in. He's facing the opposite direction to the Knight of Pentacles, so slow and steady Eddie. So I think that if people have already got it, they're going to do their research. They're going to come here. They're going to check. They're going to make sure they've got all their ducks in a row. They're going to know their way around. They're going to have, they're going to have their wits about them when they come here. So people will still come. People will still travel. It might be a few less. There might be a handful less that are reconsidering it. If they haven't booked, they might not book, because you've got this 2 card in the outcome, which is a decision-making card. And it's, do I go, do I stay? Do I go, do I stay? Oh, they could go somewhere else, right? So there is that card in the outcome of people, making a decision either way. So some people will, some people won't. But it looks to me and it feels to me if they've already got the booking, they're coming. If they don't have the booking, they won't be coming. And with the outcome being the wish come true and the temperance card, the advice is, go with your heart, what you wish for, and just check it out. Make sure that it feels good to you to still do any traveling, particularly to the UK if that's what you're looking to do, and around the UK as well if you're already in the UK. So just feel into it. Make sure that it feels like the right thing to do. If something feels off, cancel it. If something doesn't feel right, I wouldn't go ahead with any plans that you've already got. But it does seem that it will have a small impact, but it's not going to derail the industry as such. And people, if it's a wish that they've wanted to do, they're still going to do it. So that's good to know that it's not going to destroy that industry, because that's a lot of people who work in that industry. Now, I want to ask, will we have more riots in the UK? We've had quite a few local kind of riots on local problems, but I wonder if we're going to have more widespread riots in the UK coming up. So let's see what the cards will tell us about that. Will we have the Chariot card? Now, this card comes up a lot for the UK. This is people pulled in two different directions. It's a polarity card. It's the card of... I'm going to get one card to support him, just because he's quite a powerful card, so I don't need too many cards to answer the question. Four of Wands was the other card that picked up. So with my card is, will we have riots? I would say yes, we're going to have riots. I would say that the riots aren't going to be, there might be more. Oh dear, another card popped out. The Eight of Wands popped out as well. So that's interesting. The Eight of Wands is information coming out really fast. And the Wands card is also fast moving and a sort of a gateway or a breakthrough. And I'm wondering if there is this Chariot person, people are polarized at the moment, but they could be pulled into the sort of gateway in order to maybe stop these riots. But it's all going to depend on the information that comes out. And I actually feel like it has a lot to do with... I feel like it has a lot to do with celebrations, people coming together, people being able to do things together. And if people can get together in a more sort of festive way, then I feel like these riots might be toned down a little bit. But I still feel there could be two different directions, and there are definitely going to be some people that definitely will go and riot for sure, no matter what happens. And then there are other groups of people that might be trying to do it in a different way. So there will still be some riots, not that many, as many as people are predicting. But I feel like there could be some gatherings of people together, peaceful gatherings rather than riots. So, gatherings of people to get their points heard, their feelings heard, felt, but in a more peaceful kind of manner, like the family, bringing the whole family out to the day to, put their placards out and stand up for what they believe in. I feel like there could be more of that than riots. But that doesn't mean that there won't be, because just ask for more advice. There is still going to be some destruction that's going to come out of this, and there's still going to be the wheels falling off, the foundations falling apart. And until people feel like that's getting better, I feel like there could still be some pockets of riots. It might be city by city. It might not be all around the country. I'm just going to ask if that's right. So there'll be a strategy on where these riots are. So these riots might be in particular areas where there are more problems as such. But there is this control card, this person in control. So that to me kind of gives the impression that, it'll be definitely fighting for valor, but fighting for it in a better way than actually kicking off and having a riot. However, there will still be some riots. There could be an incident that causes riots as well. It looks like there might be an incident that could cause a riot. Now, I know that there have been some over the years. Certainly, there have been some riots the one I'm thinking about is where the little children were taken out by that awful man. That caused a major riot, and it would be absolutely dreadful if another situation like that happened. But I feel like it could be something emotionally painful that could cause another big riot. But there's certainly, from what I'm getting, there are not going to be as many riots as people are predicting that there will be, or a major civil unrest. I still think there's a possibility for the civil unrest, for sure, definitely. And I hope that we can tone it down in time before it gets really bad. But there could certainly be a shocking moment that causes a riot, a major riot. So I don't know if there'll be as many as people are saying, but there's a possibility that there's a big one, and that'll be caused by something that happens. Goodness me. I have to really focus on that not manifesting, because I wouldn't want another disaster, tragedy like that to happen in the UK. So I've noticed that there is a lot of people that are getting very angry, and you can't even walk to the grocery shop without hearing people who are angry at the current state of the country. And I want to ask a question. It's just it's a broad question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What will it take for people's anger to be sort of toned down, for them to go more inward and sort of less angry? I mean, I'm angry. I'm angry at the state of our country, with our government and all the U-turns, and it's just looks like a Mickey Mouse third world country. And I want to see if there is anything that can tone down the anger of the people, the majority of the people who are angry. Let's see if there's anything that can tone down the anger of the people in the country. There is definitely an underlying anger. So there's the Queen of Pentacles. There is the Five of Wands. There is the Empress in the background, in the past. There is the Two of Cups in the middle. In the future, there is the 10. There is the Justice card. Interesting. And the Hanged Man card. Wow. So there is certainly some anger around. We've got this Five of Wands, which is the fighting card, everybody at each other's throat kind of card, everybody wanting to be right and having their opinions, and their opinions are right and nobody else's are right. So it certainly is a fighting card happening at the moment, and an anger card. But the kind of question I asked was, is there a way to tone this anger down? Now, in the past, you've got the Empress card. This is your divine feminine card. Women aren't really known to be the ones that are always out there fighting. We have a different way of fighting. Certainly we do fight, but we have a slightly, we're not going to go throw fists most of the time. There are women who do throw fists, but we aren't going to throw fists most of the time. Most of the time women will have a heated discussion, shall we call it, a squabble, a proper bickering, that sort of way of clearing the air, if you want to say it. And I feel like women will be able to help if you approach it in that sort of sense, that it is right to have an opinion. Everyone can have their own opinion. Everyone's opinions are entitled. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. You don't have to agree with their opinion. I know there are a lot of people that are in my friend group that don't agree with my opinions on things, but that's fine. They don't have to. They don't have to see the world the same way that I see the world. Some of them have children. Some of them don't have children. Some of them, there are lots of reasons why people will have different opinions on things. And I think this is, with the Two of Cups in the middle, it's a coming together and getting more understanding of where each other's positions are in this. And the public are angry. We've got this 5 there. We certainly are angry. We got a lot of worries. The outcome is the 10 of Cups. Now, this is your happy family card. This is everybody getting together. This is a celebration card. This is, wonderful, happy times, the rainbow. Everybody loves a rainbow, emotional overload of love and generosity. And it's a beautiful card to have as the outcome here. And the advice is interesting. So the advice is justice. And I think a lot of us would love to see some justice. And justice would definitely give a lot of us, certainly from some of the things that make me angry, seeing justice for things done to harm people and things done that are unjust and things that have been slid under the carpet and hope we wouldn't notice, kind of things. So things that are brought to justice and that we can see real justice happening, that would definitely tone down the anger. There is a lot of anger about how there's sort of two-tier policing, that a woman can be put in prison for a tweet or a Facebook post or whatever it was, and she gets more time in jail for that than people who've abused children. And I think that is absolutely frightening. That is imbalanced. So I think if we can see more balanced justice coming on, our perspective will then be, we can change our perspective, and that changing our perspective will change the mood and the anger. So I think that the justice has a lot to play in toning down the anger. And I think that is absolutely fair. I just want to make sure that that's right. Yeah. So I just asked if what I was saying was correct, and I got this, the women of overly abundant, and the absolute yes. So yes, women will be vital in toning down the anger so long as they approach it with the conversational debate and allowing people to have the space to have different opinions. It will definitely tone down the anger, but there is certainly some anger out there, and seeing justice. And now this ace is also a justice and legal ace, so seeing some justice, I think will definitely help tone down the anger. But at the moment, I don't think any of us have seen proper justice for a lot of things that have happened, and certainly people getting away with a lot less punishment than they should be getting for the crimes that they've done. The saying, the punishment doesn't fit the crime is coming into my mind. So some people are doing what I don't really even necessarily see as a huge crime, being arrested for hurty words. And then you've got people abusing children, and the people that have done the post get longer than the people that have abused the children. It makes no sense to me. And yes, that does make me angry. So I guess that I can see where that anger comes from in a lot of us. So yeah, I think we can turn it around. I think that we don't need to have so much fighting on the streets. Peaceful marches, I think, will happen more, where everyone brings their whole family. And I think those kind of things will be more than full-blown riots. But there is a possibility, again, looking at my cards, that we could have a huge riot if there's another tragedy that happens. And we've just had one calamity, a tragedy after another, and I can understand why that emotion would overflow. So let's try and hope that doesn't happen. As the cards, they have identified that there might be one major situation that could cause, riots and civil unrest, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, if you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.